How is the average American coping right now when 61% of us are living paycheck to paycheck?
Just wait for student loans and childcare expenses to hit at the end of the month while interest rates continue to climb. People are not going to be okay for much longer. On one hand, times are tough. On the other hand, I go out to eat and the parking lot is full of shiny-ass trucks. You can't claim you're barely making ends meet while driving a Raptor.
This situation may feel unusual, but, historically, almost everyone I've known over the last 60-something years has lived paycheck to paycheck. In my life, it has been unusual for anyone to have savings or room on their credit card. And it sucks. It sucks to live that way.
Because 61% aren't actually living paycheck to paycheck. At least not as you interpret that phrase. Dig into the finances of people who report this, and you'll often find high earners and other people who absolutely could have a financial cushion. Except they've locked themselves into high fixed costs or gratuitous discretionary spending. You'll even find people who say they are living paycheck to paycheck while investing significant portions of their income, because they don't consider that money to be available for spending. 73% of adults reported they were doing, at least okay, financially at the end of 2022. I don't think people who are actually living paycheck to paycheck would assess their situation that way. I feel like we need to define paycheck to paycheck. I know a medical device sales representative who makes $400,000 plus annually and says he's paycheck to paycheck. He has a lot of luxuries and investments and doesn't factor that in. Paycheck to paycheck within what level of means? I think that term is too vague to hold much meaning. If I make $1 million a year and buy a house, cars, etc. that are out of my budget, I can end up living paycheck to paycheck. I would be more interested in the number of people living paycheck to paycheck based on actual needs versus just in general. I was one of the people I laid out in my example at one point. I didn't make that much, but significantly more than I do now. But it basically all went out as fast as it came in, with some basic effort to actually manage my budget and spending. I have a decent buffer of savings while making about 1/3 of what I was before. Every single time I ask what does paycheck to paycheck actually mean, I usually get 45 different answers. So I'm going to say most are fine. Got a third job. Have no hobbies anymore. I sleep on average 45 hours a day split between 2 naps. Health spiraling downward. Paycheck to paycheck is a term that gets used very loosely by a lot of people. Some people will claim that they're paycheck to paycheck because after paying their bills, contributing to their 401k and IRA, adding to their savings account, and paying for all other expenses, they've spent their entire paycheck. If that's the definition, then plenty of wealthy people are paycheck to paycheck. A better definition of paycheck to paycheck would be having negative or near zero net worth and making no progress toward increasing one's net worth. You see, I've been paycheck to paycheck most of my life. I am what you call old poor. I know how to make it on the bare minimum. Less if needed. I feel for all these new poor that are in for a rude awakening. Things aren't getting better. Terrible, and heating bills are ahead of us. My budgeting game is getting better and better. My shopping game as well. Buy in bulk wherever you can. If things you get regularly are 2 for 1 buy 10. I've always been poor, so bring it on. I've moved up. Now I live direct deposit to direct deposit. I don't want to adult anymore. It's not worth it anymore. Well, pot's a lot more available these days, so there that. Alcohol. First time? Us old poor are used to this. I have no idea. I have 0 chance of owning a home. I have 100% chance of paying more in rent next year. I want to say I'm hoping for a reset. But I'll probably be literally destitute if that happens and coming out the other side. Just as far off of owning a home. Lower interest rates would be great. But then the prices will go up and I'm still right here. Lentils and rice. I just donated plasma for $125 full tank of gas and my electric bill paid for September. Yippee party popper.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.